What I have to bring to this discussion is that last week the Secretary of Transportation, Ray LaHood, called me, and he called Frank Lobiando, a Republican of New Jersey, and asked us in separate telephone calls if we would help with the Republican leadership in unraveling this mess. Now, I suspect he called us because we're classmates from the class of 1994. I also suspect he called us because Frank and I are the co-chairs of the Republican Labor Caucus. And so on the labor issue, which is in the big bill, Frank and I differ with Chairman Mica on the National Mediation Board legislation. Frank and I immediately, in response to our friend's call, went to work, and we went to the Majority Leader, and we went to the Speaker of the House. And even though Speaker Boehner was busy last week with some things that you might have read about, he tasked his Chief of Staff, Barry Jackson, to negotiate with the folks in the Senate to see if we couldn't figure out a way to make sure that this problem went away before the August recess. I was advised, and now I'm going to be a bipartisan smacker around her by Mr. Jackson, that I was going to have problems with Senator Coburn of Oklahoma, Republican of Oklahoma. Now, until the Coburn language was adopted, picking on poor Paul Brown down in Georgia, 6,715 passengers have gotten on a plane rather than getting in their car and going to the Atlanta airport, and the American taxpayer has paid $157 per passenger so that they could do that. That's what the Coburn language is. The hostage takers here are not the Tea Party. The hostage takers here are not the House Republicans. The hostage takers here aren't even anybody in the United States House. Now, I left you with Frank Lobiando and I running to the Senate cloakroom to talk with Senator Coburn on Monday, and I asked the senator if he would drop his hold on the bill and permit the House to remove the Coburn language from the extension, so we would have what everybody in town is calling a clean extension. He said he would not. He said it's the first piece of cutting legislation that the Senate has adopted in 2000, whatever year we're in, 11, and he wasn't going to yield.